Houston, meteorologist Erika Lopez here, giving you an update on what's going on weather-wise, because there's some of us that are seeing heavy rain. So if you're tuning in and wondering what is going on specifically north of downtown Houston, Montgomery County right now, we do have some flood advisories that are intact because of the heavy rainfall that's occurring in some places. Notice lots of red on radar around the Woodlands area, Tomball, also Spring. That is not a severe thunderstorm, but it is a thunderstorm that's capable of dropping 2 to 3 inches of rain by the hour. And notice these storms are just training in these areas. And before I get into who exactly seeing rain right now, I want to let you guys know that this is an outer rain band of what is Tropical Depression Barry. So pretty interesting. When Barry actually made landfall over the weekend, we didn't get anything, but now that Barry is well north of us, we're getting some of the outer bands with a little bit of a Gulf moisture influence, more of a northeast flow that's moving into the area. That's helping develop some of those storms. So I am streaming on all of our digital platforms. Comment below. I'm actually going to pull up our Facebook page. So if you guys are tuning in from Facebook, I'll try to gather some of your guys' questions and try to answer them as we go on throughout this Facebook Live and kind of let you know exactly what we can expect after we get through some of this busy weather that's going on. Okay, let's pull up a little bit closer on radar right now and see these green polygons. I'm going to walk us through exactly what these green polygons are. So we do have a flash flood warning well east of our viewing area. This is in Louisiana. That warning is in effect throughout this afternoon. For us, we don't have flash flood warnings, but aerial flood advisories. So what that means is that in these areas that we see around Conroe, around Spring, we're probably running into some minor street flooding as of right now. So again, these are rather slow moving storms. Tropical like in nature, it is associated with an outer rain band of Tropical Depression Barry, and that's bringing in not only heavy rain, lightning. Haven't seen any reports of any hail, which is typically not the case with storms such as this, but it's the heaviest of the rain that we're tracking right now along 45. If you're someone who's about to hit the road on 45 around the Spring region, you probably just want to hang out inside until this storm passes. But we will be seeing scattered showers throughout this afternoon. We are also tracking some heavy rain out in the Navasota area right now. No aerial flood advisories for you guys, but still nonetheless, it is going to be busy in some areas. So let's see. Have some folks tuning in that are saying they can't hear me. If you can't hear me, comment below and we'll try to fix that for you guys. But let's see. And then also I've seen a lot of issues with this. If you're tuning in and you can't hear me, well, this is going to be kind of hard. But if you guys can comment below, if you actually exit out of the Facebook app, I believe, and then re-log in, you'll probably have a better opportunity of trying to hear me. So any questions on the forecast, let me know what's going on right now. Let's walk you through your hour by hour. I'm going to show you our model, which is called the ARRR model. It's our best short-term forecast resolution model. So it does the best at pinpointing kind of what's going to happen throughout the rest of this afternoon. So this is walking you through where we're at as of right now. Sorry, I'm going to extend this right here. So this is this afternoon about 2 p.m. We do have the heaviest of the storms, so this model is doing a good idea at pinpointing the heaviest of the storms north of downtown Houston around the Spring area where that's occurring right now, and for the coastal areas. That's where we're having the biggest of the issues right now. So some folks may not pick up rain with this outer rain band. Again, they will be scattered in nature. For your evening commute, notice the short-term resolution model, short-term forecast model, that is lessening rain chances throughout your evening commute. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm though. That still could produce heavy rain. Can't rule out lightning either. Again, we haven't seen any of these storms turn severe. There is the possibility that that could happen, but just keep in mind after this afternoon, especially after daytime heating when the sun goes down, we should be on the quiet side in terms of what we can expect rainfall wise. And then believe it or not, it's actually a pretty quiet stretch for the rest of the week. When tropical depression continues to push north, that's going to eliminate rain chances for us. But I want to show you of what's going on with Tropical Depression Barry right now. So wind speed sustained with the center of circulation at 25 miles an hour. It's weak. Just because it's weak, though, does not mean it doesn't have rain and flash flooding issues with it. We actually have flash flood concerns that extend all the way into the Tennessee Valley as of right now. So it is very widespread, very disorganized, moving pretty rapidly. That's good at 12 miles an hour, because the further north it moves, then we're going to get the less influence from that also. But again, we are still seeing some of the outer rain bands that are filtering in, Gulf of Mexico moisture, and helping cause some of those thunderstorms that are producing heavy rainfall at the moment. Okay, how much rain are we talking about that we've seen so far? The last 6 hours, this is what we're picking up. So what I'm going to do is kind of pinpoint what areas have seen the heaviest of the rain, and it's really been consistent along 45 between Spring and Conroe. Pockets have seen a little greater rainfall totals. Here's what we're picking up. This is radar estimated. So it's not an official report, but it is what our Doppler radar is estimating what we've picked up so far around the Woodlands area. 2.8 inches, that's enough in a short span to cause some minor flooding on the roadways again, and then up to 2 inches around the Conroe area. Keep in mind, we do have thunderstorms, so these are associated with lightning, these storms that are pushing through. Okay, let me check in for any questions right now. If you guys are tuning in, happy Monday. Cool. Getting some reports that we are starting to see sound right now. Delia's tuning in, no rain on the west side. So I'm going to pop up radar, as a matter of fact, right now. The majority of the rain that we're seeing is north of downtown Houston. So we're seeing some light showers on the east side. No rain pretty much on the west side. We're sandwiched in between one of the rain bands from Tropical Depression Barry, north of downtown Houston, and then south of downtown Houston. Coastal areas have a good chance of seeing some thunderstorms too. We don't have as active of scenario as what we have north of downtown Houston right now, which is why that aerial flood advisory is in effect at the moment. Okay. Trying to get through some of your guys' questions here. I'm getting a report from Carolyn. Thanks for tuning in on I-10 and Willcrest. Again, no rain. So yeah, we're sandwiched in. Pretty much anyone along I-10 or the central part of our viewing area, we're not seeing anything. It's all north of us. It's pretty hot, muggy, humid for us along the I-10 scenario, and for the central parts of downtown Houston, again, all of the rain is happening just north and just south. Let's see. Robin's tuning in and saying that her ears noticed a pressure change about half an hour ago in the Woodlands. So that's possible if you're that sensitive to pressure change. It likely dropped just a little bit. No reports of rain in Sugar Land again. So let me know if you guys are seeing rain. So I'm getting reports of areas that are not seeing rain, but who is seeing rain? If you are seeing rain, are you seeing any of those thunderstorms out there? Are you hearing any of that thunder? Give me an update on that, because I'm also keeping a close eye on National Weather Service. What we have is a chat room, and they kind of give us the latest updates. So I want to read their weather statement. It's a special weather statement that's coming out specifically for southeastern Montgomery and north central Harris counties. So what they're saying is Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Hawks Airport near Tomball. That's the exact storm that we're seeing right now. Okay, I'm reading off the official statement from National Weather Service of what's going on with that. It's moving east at 15 miles an hour, so that's good. It's not necessarily training in that area. It does have some eastward movement, so the quicker it moves out, the better, but you still could see winds of up to 40 miles an hour that are possible with this storm. So I don't have any potential for hail within this storm. There is lightning that's possible with this storm, and can't rule out some street flooding that's possible because of heavy rainfall rates. Up to about 2 inches by the hour is possible. So this is the strongest storm that we're tracking right now. Earlier this afternoon, we did have some rain that was training. I'm going to take that out of the area there. Other than that, again, if you're tuning in from downtown Houston, we're actually A-OK, and these storms are moving eastward. So unless some storms start to develop, we see some of our southern storms starting to push a little further north, then I think we're going to be much quieter this afternoon compared to what folks just north of downtown are tuning in for this afternoon. All right, popping up Facebook again. All right. Gay Deluche is tuning in, seeing rain, lightning, thunder in Spring, Texas. So that's that same storm. This is pretty much the only one that's causing issues. I'm going to zoom in a little tighter here. Here, a little tighter, and I'm also going to pause the time lapse. This is real time, so we're at 2:35 p.m. at the moment. All right, looks like the heaviest part of this cell at the moment is just west of Spring. So if you're tuning in from Spring right now, you're likely seeing heavy rain already. This storm is moving east, so you're going to start to hear the heavy rainfall rates pick up. Still lightning associated with that. That's where we are under an aerial flood advisory until 3:15 p.m. In this particular location, we're likely to see some minor street flooding. Just let this storm pass. It's going to be a quick moving storm. We may have some more storms develop throughout this afternoon, but once it does push through, water will start to recede in some of those areas that will have some minor street flooding, and then you'll be able to go about your afternoon. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the forecast, because again, if you're just tuning in, what we're seeing right now, especially if you're north of downtown Houston, are actually outer rain bands of tropical depression Barry, believe it or not. So here's the big picture of what radar looks like. You see this circulation going on right here? That's counterclockwise circulation. A tropical system is basically a strong area of low pressure, and it rotates counterclockwise. So you can see that counterclockwise circulation. The more broad it gets, I'm gonna try to draw this out for you a little better. All right, so the more broad, here's the center of circulation, right? And at the center, our winds aren't as strong anymore. They're at 25 miles an hour, so we need wind speeds at 39 miles an hour for it to still be a tropical storm. So we're no longer at that tropical storm status. It is now a depression. But again, the counterclockwise circulation, if you follow me, notice, follow my finger, and this is one of the outer rain bands. We still get circulation that's bringing in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So that is what's influencing these storms that we're getting at the moment across southeast Texas. So kind of interesting. This weekend when the system actually made landfall, we were quiet. We didn't have any threats. It was actually a pretty nice summer weekend for us here in southeast Texas. But now that the system is north of us, even though it's much weaker than what it was as a Category 1 when it made landfall, we're getting the rainfall accumulation from the system now because of the position. Again, it's all about the position of where the storm actually is in comparison to where we are. So this is why we have some influence of tropical depression Barry at the moment. So it's not only us, we also have showers that are still ongoing for much of the south, flash flooding concern basically all throughout the Mississippi Valley area, the Tennessee Valley area, until that system continues to push northward. That's going to be kind of what we're tracking for the rest of this afternoon. So I'm going to walk us through the hour by hour one more time. Busy this afternoon. Notice for your evening commute, most of the rain, most of the models are keeping the rain north of I-10, but by this evening, can't rule out a couple of strong storms still. We have not seen any severe storm. Our biggest concern is a heavy rain. It's tropical rain in nature, so we're talking heavier rainfall rates, 2 to 3 inches by the hour is definitely possible. Good news is that these storms are moving, so we're not seeing as much training, which training, if these storms just stay in one spot, that's when we have some pretty big flash flooding concerns. But since we have movement to these storms, yes, they're bringing in heavy rain when it's in your area, but then it quickly pushes out and lets the water recede. So we like to see movement with storms. Here's Future Track tonight though, quiet. And then I think we're done with our rainfall threats with Barry. Barry's continuing to push up north. We won't see much of an influence because of Barry once we get through the rest of the weekend. So, or the work week. We just started the work week, right? It's Monday. All right, your 7-day outlook looks like this. So again, scattered storms today. They are because of Barry. Not everyone's going to see rain. Most of the rain we're tracking is going to be north of downtown Houston. Rain shower chances diminish. They start to lessen as we go through the rest of the work week, and before you know it, summertime is back for us here in Houston. We're dry. We have a south wind, breezy at times. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Feel like temperatures back in the triple digits. Check out this weekend. Lots of summertime heat is what we're tracking, and likely dangerous heat for this upcoming weekend also. All right, so comment below with any questions, whether you're tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and then I'll try to get to those questions throughout this afternoon. But we'll make sure to have your latest updates on your forecast for us here in Houston coming up on the 411 at 4 p.m. We'll chat with you soon.